Let there be light, light, light.
Got him! Got him!
KS Radio Show, hosted by Alicio, aka KS. You got a new hot record you can't get on the airways? Well, they take music submissions over here at Alicio Torres 1989 at yahoo.com.
Say what?
Alicio started the KS Radio Show in January 2016, and it is recorded live every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time through www.blogtalkradio.com. Not only is the KS Radio Show the home of the most exclusive music and interviews, you can also give a birthday shout out to your homies.
Happy birthday!
Follow on Instagram and Twitter at KS Radio Show, or contact Alicio directly. His phone number is 513-370-4968. Alicio is down to interview anybody with a testimony, so get with it or get lost, get right or get left. Yeah.
FRIENDS, miss me with them indirect boxes on the internet. I pass, don't never intersect. How you in the click, but you don't know me at all. All your shots get intercepted, so don't throw me the ball.
Hustle. You have to hustle, put in the hard work. There's no excuses on the road to success. Even when you feel defeated, you gotta keep going. Pray. You have to pray for everything that you want and everything that you're thankful for. When it's not going the way that you want, you still gotta trust the process. Eat. After the hard work, it's time to celebrate and fellowship with the ones who believed in you. And if they didn't believe you, let's turn them into believers. Hustle, pray, eat. It's the brand that motivates.
What is your profession?
Now's the time that the talking's done. Are you ready to take the next step? The stress about the enemy, the stress about finances, the stress about sickness, the stress about disease, the stress of life in general, the struggle. No more stressing over the struggle of life. That stress is over. Now's the time. Now it is time. Now's the time to stand up. Now it's time to know what you carry in Christ. Now's the time. I'm talking to you. It's time to make a move. Now, things don't change till you change. Now it's time for you to say, I'm ready. For you to say, I'm ready to change. For you to say, I want better. For you to say, it's over. Now it's time for you to get turned up. It's time for you to invest in the kingdom of God with all your gifts and your talents. It's time to get aggressive. Don't just play the sidelines. It's time to get in. You're all in. Only you can do that. You, and you alone. I want you to get angry. I want you to get serious. I want you to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's time. It's time for us as believers to stand up. I want you to say, I'm ready. I'm ready to take that step. I'm ready for more. I'm ready. This is what this is about. This is about being equipped and trained to walk in the things that Christ paid such a high price for us to walk in. This isn't an average conference. This isn't just come and hear what I have to say. I'm here to challenge you. I'm here to get you excited about what it is you carry. It's time for you to stand up. Things don't change until you change. And I'm coming to teach you and train you to be a force to be reckoned with in this world. It's time. The time is now. Will you stand up? Will you come? I will challenge you. I will challenge you and push you into the things that Christ has called us and commanded us all to walk in. Is he paid too high of a price for us to sit around and do nothing? So are you the one that's going to sit there and talk about you want things to change? Or are you going to be the one that's going to say, I'm going to be that change, and it starts with me, and it starts now? That's what we're bringing. We're bringing that to you. Come on, bring your Bibles. Bring your pens. Bring your paper. Bring whatever it is you need. I'm going to bring my best, and I'm asking that you challenge me and help me do what it is that God has called me to do, and that's to equip the saints. To equip the saints. This is me challenging you and you challenging me, and we coming together in the name of Jesus and uplift in the name of Jesus together so we can make a change. I want you to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's time for us to take back our community. It's time for us to make a move. The children of God are being called and raised up all around the globe. You had some questions. You wanted to know, can I heal the sick? Can I walk in the gifts? I will be answering questions. I'll be doing Q&A and preaching and teaching and showing you biblical truths. There's a difference between what I believe and what the word says.
Got him! Got him!
Yo, we back in the building. We back again. Another podcast. You know, man, what could we say, man? Shout out to you, Alicia, man. We here again with another guest, man. Shout out to DJ Lost and Found. Appreciate you being on the platform with us today, bro. Alicia, what up, man? It feels like it's been a whole year since we done a show, man.
Bro, man, it's just been a few days, man. It's been a few restful days because November is another month with our foot on the pedal, more interviews, more exclusive music.
Yup.
Let's go.
Talk that talk, man. But yeah, man. Hold on. Before we even get started, though, man, let's start with an exclusive joint. And then let's get the show started after that. So usually the purpose for the exclusive joints that we like to play is because not everybody has a whole album that they're ready to release, but they releasing singles You know what I mean? So we want to shine light on them as they get their album together, and then God willing, they be able to be on the podcast, right? We'll be able to get them on here and shine light on them. So this right here, you want to introduce it? I know I see the song name is Classmatic.
No, that's the name of the artist. The homie Plasmatic. He emailed me. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 days ago about his joint called Live Bait. Live Bait features the homie Nick Nack and PSLP. I have no idea who PSLP is, but I have heard of Nick Nack before, and I have heard of Plasmatic. They always, well, not always, but they frequently collab on tracks. So I'm used to the guys, and man, they come with some fire, man. I definitely enjoyed the Live Bait track. Again, Live Bait drops November 7th. So this is an exclusive world premiere tonight on the GodSon listening party with DJ Lost and Found, man. Jay Meezy, let's run it up, man.
You already know. Let's go, share it live.
Sometimes I wake up, sometimes I sleep. Sometimes I'm just a prisoner to beats and sheets. Cause I get locked in the tempo and I feel incomplete until I finish writing these bars. I loosen up these leaves, take you on trips with no manners. Like I ain't got no manners. The way I'm eating this grammar. I remember reading words from this lady Savannah. They struck me and now they stuck with me like rats in pajamas. It's 2 p.m. I'm on this lazy boy settling, trying to shake off this laziness like gelatin. Maybe it's genetics, DNA inside my skeleton, trying to fight the itis off.
Let's go, share it live.
Hey, Jay Meezy, man, we can barely hear, man. You might need to restart it, bro.
Hold on. What happened? You can barely hear it, you said?
Can barely hear it.
Hold on. Let me see what happened here. All right, let's see what happened. My bad. So check it, man. Let's get with it.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
I apologize, but how about now? You got it? You hear like I hear? You hear that? Licio.
Sometimes I wake up, sometimes I sleep. Sometimes I'm just a prisoner to beats and sheets. Cause I get locked in the tempo and I feel incomplete until I finish writing these bars. I loosen up these leaves, take you on trips with no manner. It's like I ain't got no manners. The way I'm eating is grammar. I remember reading words from this lady Savannah. They struck me and now they stuck with me like hood rats in pajamas. It's 2 p.m. I'm on this lazy boy settling, trying to shake off this laziness like gelatin. Maybe it's genetics, DNA inside my skeleton, trying to fight the itis off, dukes up like Ellington. But it wins every time, so my mind start to put pictures to my rhymes. Start to put movies to my lines. What an episode. And now I'm dialing up my side, I call a vegetable. Another loss to idle time, what you expect to know. It's all common to man, ain't it acceptable? It ain't uncommon to man, we all susceptible. Scared to put my hand up even though I got a question though. Had everything I want on my plate, but wanting seconds though. You can lose everything you work for in a second, bro. Yeah, and that's a lifetime. I just rather write rhymes. The word is obedience. Gotta die to this flesh, die to this greediness. Sometimes it's real hard, sometimes it's tedious. Recipe is always the same, no new ingredients. The word is discipline. I pray to God there's someone out there listening. Pray to God this hook catch you like a fisherman. Cause I'm just trying to fish for men.
I found when I'm by myself, I'm in the worst company. Cause me, myself, and I always trying to run from these two abilities. Account or response, proof of instability. I've kept hidden for so long, I'm so gone. But stuck in the same place, my game face, I live with it on. Living wrong, covering shame's taste. For my name's sake, I can't ask for no help. I'd rather do it myself. Silence kept, praying these chains break. A part of me be liking how these shackles feel. Pain to be fooled like I'm watching David Copperfield. About to kneel before the throne, hoping to find freedom there. The Father's will should be home, I'ma strive to meet him there. Well, I guess what will tell us will be time. Moment by moment, faith is needed and grace for the grind. We'll be fine, cause even we can't pluck us out the hands that hold us up and together when we're too weak to stand.
The word is obedience. Gotta die to this flesh, die to this greediness. Sometimes it's real hard, sometimes it's tedious. Recipe is always the same, no new ingredients. The word is discipline. I pray to God there's someone out there listening. Pray to God this hook catch you like a fisherman. Cause I'm just trying to fish for men.
I wake up and realize that I'm sleeping. TLC, wicked thoughts in me still creeping. I mean, my eyes open, but it's hard for me to see. Feel like another presence rolled a blunt and jumped inside of me. It's crazy. Now I'm lit, but I ain't took a hit though. Sit back and close my eyes, but I still can't forget, bro. I still see it. Maybe the water will wash your thoughts away. Cause I really hate when thoughts like this start my day. It's ugly, impeding on the progress, clouding the way. Thoughts beget the actions, now the others start plowing away. Here they come. I can't afford to slip and get carried away. Too much work to get done for me to act like kid and play. House party, guess it's just the kid in me wanting to play. The little boy that still feel like he got something to say. I know I ain't the only one who feel this way. Come on, man. I just wanna chill today.
The word is obedience. Gotta die to this flesh, die to this greediness. Sometimes it's real hard, sometimes it's tedious. Recipe is always the same, no new ingredients. The word is discipline. I pray to God there's someone out there listening. Pray to God this hook catch you like a fisherman. Cause I'm just trying to fish for men.
He's just trying to fish for men. Man. The Lord says, come follow me, I will make you fishers of men. And he was talking to fishermen, you heard? Man, listen. Hey, yo, look, man, I know you couldn't hear me earlier. I was doing the sound effects and all that, but let's redo it all over again. DJ Lost and Found, welcome to the show. Appreciate having you on. You know what I mean? Word, man, it's definitely a blessing to have different members in the body of Christ come through the show, allow us to wash your feet, so to speak, right? Like, we want to shine light on you, man. We understand that God has been working in your life. It's the reason why you're doing what you're doing today, man. So, again, welcome to the show. Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for the platform, y'all, for real.
Lisha, what up with you, man? What's going on your side? I know you've been busy.
Like always, man. Had to run down the street because my church is having our Harvest Fall Festival, and I wanted to see my son in his costume before we started the show. So, man, I'm back, man. I'm ready for the night, man. Let's get it. What up, DJ Watson Found, bro?
What up,
Alicia? What up? I see y'all was active, bro.
Yeah.
I seen a whole bunch of interviews y'all was doing. Y'all was active, bro.
That's Lisha, you heard? he do his work unto the Lord, you heard?
Yes, sir.
Yo, definitely want to say shout out to the chat, man. I see y'all active as well, man. Y'all there, y'all been rocking with us. Want to say I'm super humbled, man. You know, y'all create the platform, right? We're here to steward it, but y'all here to create it. So shout out to the chat, man. Appreciate y'all. And like always, information is at the bottom of the screen. Go like, go share, go comment, support. Do something, man. Allow the bro to get in the algorithm. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, allow them to get in the algorithm. And if God put it on your heart to sow into him, his Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. He ain't asked us to do this. We did it anyway because it takes physical keys to open up physical doors. You know what I mean? Dudes got bills to pay, man. The gospel is free, but rent ain't. You know what I mean? Like, let's go, man. You heard?
Word up.
So what's up, Cuzzo? Let them know where you from, man. Where you from and all that.
Yeah, so I'm originally from New Jersey. I lived in New York for the past 10 years, and then about a year and a half ago, I moved down to Dallas. Moved my family, me, my wife, my kids. We live down in Dallas now. Basically, man, we needed a lot more space, and really, it was just about being a good steward what God has given me, right? And I felt like the best way to do that was to be down south, because I love New York, love the city, but it's too expensive, man.
Yeah,
what I got down here, you paying for you getting a 1-bedroom, so it just didn't make sense. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be sensible with everything that God has given me so that I can, better serve the body in this community.
Word, man. Shout out to Dallas with the good home prices and all that.
Yeah.
We trying to live, man.
Not for long.
Hey, yo, definitely the East Coast be, it's another level, man. I'm from Lawrence, Massachusetts, so out here it's just it's almost as bad as New York, Rent is through the roof, man. Just to get like a single bedroom, you paying like $1,200 a month. So shout out to Dallas, man. Right. crazy, man. I'm trying to tell you. How is it out there where you at, Lisa? How much y'all pay? What's the average rent?
So I want to say for a one bedroom, it's about 700. For a two bedroom, it's about 1,000 or like 1,100. So it's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Could be
fair.
better, but it's fair.
Yeah. I think that'll work for somebody coming from the East Coast if they stop where you at and then they move out. You know what I mean? So they see the
For sure.
gradual change and all that. But yeah, man. So Cuzzle, man. What about the music that drew you in? What's your background with the music?
Yeah, so I actually wasn't big on music growing up. It wasn't until probably my freshman year in high school where I actually got big on music. Started listening to like heavily. Started listening to Ja Rule. 50 came out probably around that time. Eminem, Nas was a big one. But really wasn't big onto music. And I mean, I was one of these dudes out here listening to like singles of like Coolio or something like that. But basically, what happened was after that, I fell in love with music, and then I started producing when I was 15. My friends, we would be playing Halo back then, the first Xbox, whatever. And one day they just started playing with this software, man. And instead of just keep playing Halo or whatever, I was like, yo, let me figure out this software, see what they doing. So I ended up playing with this software, Fruity Loops, and fell in love with beat making and producing. And then just from there, you get these opportunities as you get better. I almost landed a placement with Slip and Slide Records. So if you don't know, that's Trick Daddy Trina, Rick Ross's original, label. Almost got a what's the word, mentorship, I guess you could say, with this producer who was like from Holland or something like that, but he was really making moves. So I had all these opportunities where I was like almost breaking into the industry, but I always felt like the Lord would just allow me to be like one step away. You know what I mean? But while everybody around me, everybody who's in my producer circle, we got a dude that worked with Kanye, a dude that's getting placements on Cartoon Network before people even knew what a sync placement was. Yeah. But overall, man, yeah, was never big into music until I was in my teen years. Started producing, and all of my skills and everything that has led up to like the DJing, the curating, the being an independent A&R, all of that kind of stems from just that initial step of producing and learning music. So that's where it all comes from.
So why the name Lost and Found or DJ Lost and Found?
Yeah. So I mean, I could do super save, right, and say I once was lost, but now I'm found, right? That works on the super save platforms. But the truth of the matter is, man, I served in my local church body for 8 years doing sound. I still do, but now I'm in some in Dallas, I'm in a different church. But for 8 years, I served in my local church body, and if anybody does sound, you know that if your sound booth is near people, they inevitably they're gonna leave stuff around your sound booth, and I started calling it the Lost and Found, basically. So when I started looking for a DJ name, Lost and Found it worked. You know what I mean? Because what was my first name? DJ DJ Dead Flesh. I was like, nah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work at all. So it ended up being Lost and Found. So yeah, that's where it come from.
Wow, I would have never thought that. Like you said, I probably would have went Super Saiyan on him.
Yeah.
He was lost and now he found.
Depending on the platform, right?
Right, man. Listen. So how you know Alicio and all that?
Man, Alicio been on Facebook heavy for years now. I've seen Alicio interviewing folks with the KS radio show. I don't even know when it started. Probably when I first started seeing him, maybe 2018, 19, something like that. Probably when I started getting into radio myself with the Rise Up Worldwide radio show. So that's probably where we connected. And yeah. You know what it is? I think actually he connected me to Jody Germain back in probably like 2018, 2019. That's where we met. So I think he emailed me, and then we met from there. but I've seen him on Facebook for, you know, just constantly working for the Lord for years now. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Licio.
So,
Everybody say the same thing about him, man.
And for those who don't know who Jody Germain is, man, just check him out. That's all I can say. He's definitely a talented brother out of Columbus, Ohio, putting it on for the Midwest, man. Love that dude, bro. Shout out to Jody Germain. Real talk.
Yes, sir.
Word. So yeah, man. I mean, let's get into it. What you want to play first?
So I just want to make an announcement, you guys. If you think I got connections, wait till y'all hear these songs and who's featured on this music from the project Zazor Part 2. Man, DJ Lost and Found got connections in like other dimensions.
Wow.
Now I got to live up to that, right? Okay. All right.
You got to live up to that. He just put the bar super high. Super high. All right, so what you want to get into?
Yeah, we can get into actually started up probably perfect because we just talked about Jody Germain. He's actually on that track with Shawan. That was actually my first track that I ever dropped as a curator or you want to call you know, an executive producer if you want to call it that. So yeah, we can get into that.
All right, give me 1 second. Start it up.
I want to say this song came out. What was it?
This was May 2020.
Okay, yeah, I remember because I was like, "Oh my God, he got Jody Germain." I've been trying to get Jody Germain for a minute.
Yeah, a little, and you know, just a quick little backstory before you get this song started. Yeah, I've been I wanted to see Jody Germain and Shawan link up for the longest. You know what I mean? And I even went on a live with Shawan. Shawan's over in Connecticut, and hit him up. I was like, "Yo, you should work with bro." And you know what? So what I did was I ended up saying, you know what? Instead of telling them, I'm gonna just make it happen. So I brought them together, and then we get started up.
So you already know, man, for the people watching, what we do on this platform, if you're new to the platform, is that we'll play the music and then come back and get into, you know, the inspiration, the motivation, all of that good stuff that it takes to make these dope records, you know what I mean? So with that, let's get into Start It Up.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
You already know information at the bottom of the screen. Go show that love, go show that support, you heard?
I know
Start it
you
up.
gonna dig this.
I got keys to the ride. You gon' have to stay alive. You gon' have to come inside. I'm like, start it up. Can I tell you I got drive? Hands up, give me 5. You gon' have to come inside like. Yeah, I got the keys, yeah, I got keys. Yeah, I got the keys, yeah, I got keys.
Okay,
Yeah, I got the keys,
fire.
yeah, I got keys. Yeah, I got the keys, yeah, I got keys.
What is it?
Yeah, give me a chance, yeah, I'm doing my dance. I pray to God and fly to France, fast and furious, yeah, you curious. Taking a look in the glance, black on black, cause that's stepping AI overload the stance. Yeah, now back to the rapping, back to the snapping. Ain't gon' break up, back to the cracking. Like for the break, now back to the back end. Let me have fun with that, you know I run with that, then I go huddle back, yeah, you cannot muzzle that. Wait, what is the reason why I've been great all this time alone? Wait, what is the reason why you sleep and take this Tylenol? I'm true to rapping even when I'm in my private home. Private zone. Start it up. I got keys to the ride. You gon' have to stay alive. You gon' have to come inside. I'm like, start it up. Can I tell you I got drive? Hands up, give me 5. You gon' have to come inside like. Yeah, I got the keys. Yeah, I got keys. Yeah, I got the keys. Yeah, I got keys. Yeah, I got the keys. Yeah, I got keys. Yeah, I got the keys. Yeah, I got keys. I told them they don't wanna start me. Y'all be sus, you can cut out the malarkey. Before your eyes, I turn my Civic to a Rari. They tryna get in where they fit in. I turn my head like, nah, I'm double parking. Yeah, I got the keys, yeah, I got the keys. That favor done paid it in full. Some of y'all whipping the leads. I'm out here just living in peace. The win to me, sign the deed, the amenities. Keeping the same energy while y'all be mad cause the temper's Tempur-Pedic. Ooh, that's me to my core. My lane never seem to work, so I hit my knees on all fours. No going back, I'm all for it. I hit the map and parkour it. Yeah, I'm soaring. Won't taste the feet cause that's foreign. Start it up. I got keys to the ride. You gon' have to stay alive. You gon' have to come inside. I'm like, start it up. Can I tell you I got drive? Hands up, give me 5. You gon' have to come inside like. Yeah, I got the keys, yeah, I got keys. Yeah, I got the keys, yeah, I got keys. Yeah, I got the keys, yeah, I got keys. Yeah, I got the keys, yeah, I got keys.
All glory to God. We only do this for the King, you know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Start it up, you heard? Y'all need to go over there, go like and subscribe and start something up, you heard? That's a fact, man.
Definitely a banger, bro, man. I think actually that was the first time that I've like seen Shawan and Jody Jermaine collab. So I'm glad that you brought them two brothers together because they both are fire. I have been a fan of them for individually for like a number of years, and I'm glad that you saw the vision to bring them both together. You did that fire track, man.
Yeah, man, and I think me personally, I think it's super dope, man, when artists come together in the body, man, because like way too often we be in competition when we in the world, you know what I mean? So it's a breath of fresh air to see dope artists come together, man. And I think all y'all was dope on that track. Everybody brought their own little swag. You know what I mean? It's like cooking a meal, man. You got salt, pepper, and adobo. You heard? You the sazon, you know what I mean?
You make me miss New York, right?
Word, man, word. So how do you pick the beats that you gonna rap on? Do you go for the beat or do you already have the song? How do you go about that?
Yeah, so for me, it starts with production. Being a producer, the first thing that I search out, even when I worked on my album, or my albums, I should say, I go for production first. I got to hear something that actually motivates me to reach out to artists. And then also just depending on the type of track that it is, the type of beat that it is, that's what's going to kind of guide me into who I'm going to reach out to, right? So I'm not going to reach out to a Shawan necessarily for like a EDM type track, right? If I was doing something like that, I would definitely, there's other people who I might reach out to first. Not saying that he can't do it, right? But I always want to make sure that I'm allowing the artist to shine at like their highest potential, right? So you want to always match styles, So Jody Jermaine and Shawan right there, that was a style matchup where it wasn't, the song wasn't even really about anything other than just them showing off the ability. That and trying to get it placed on the like Fast and Furious, because if we could do that, then everybody gets paid, everybody has a good weekend. You know what I mean?
Right.
So beat maker, do you keep it in house or do you source out beats online or something?
Yeah, so I outsource now. Yeah, just where I am in life, man. I'm a husband. I'm in my ministry at my local church body. I'm a father. You know what I mean? Full-time job. I don't have the same creative juices, I think I should say, and even the time to even put into it. So the production now has got to come from outsourcing and out of house. So I outsource and I think the great thing also, it allows me to have different sounds. A beat like Started Up, when I was a producer, I was never gonna make something like that. That wasn't my style. My style was usually more either R&B or a slower, more soulful track. So it allows me to have different sounds and new sounds because I'm working with other artists who that's their strong point. You know what I mean?
For artists who's looking to make songs, probably just coming in the game and all that, would you recommend that they find a personal beat maker, somebody who knows them, or would you tell them to go like SoundClick? I know that's a popular website.
Right. I think more important than finding a producer is find somebody who can figure out what your sound is, right? So for me, first of all, you got to make music, right? Before you even talk to anybody, you need to start making music because you got to get to the point to where not only the music is good enough, but you actually start to formulate your own style. If you don't have a style, then that's a whole different conversation. But I think, and this is not even just for the new artists out there. I think I see over and over where I'm an independent A&R where I work with artists to kind of like build either projects. If they want to get like a critique on a song or something like that, to see how they can get better, I offer those services too. So I think more than production is finding somebody who can actually give you good critiques that are actually useful, because I think that's going to help you. Production is always going to be there. There's always going to be beat stars and somebody to give you a beat, but there's not always somebody who can tell you either why your song is bad or why your song is good. You know what I mean? So I aim to tell you not only, that's dope, but why is it dope? why does it need work so that you can get better in the long run.
So you would say it'll be wiser to have, for the lack of a better word, a hater next to you, somebody who's always gonna give you that honest opinion.
Yeah. I'm the Simon Cowell of CHH for real. Yeah.
Yeah, I know somebody in the chat don't like to laugh. I apologize, my bro. Yo, so what's up, Lisa?
So I know. So we see at the bottom of the screen, Cesura 2, available on all digital platforms now. I know it was released earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
What does next year look like? Because I know it's doing crazy numbers online. If you guys have not checked out Cesura 2, definitely do that. 51 artists that you work with on this one project?
So yeah, it's 50 artists on one project. Yep.
You doing the Tony Toca. That's like that
yeah.
Tony Touch. So y'all not familiar with Tony Touch, man. Me growing up, they used to sell mixtapes, actual mixtapes, tapes, you know what I mean? And Tony Touch was one of them where he had this a series that he was doing, and then one, I don't know, did he do multiple 50 MC joints?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I think K Slade came back and tried to redo the same
killing
thing.
It,
yeah.
He was doing like 100. Yeah.
Yeah, so the reference to the 50 MCs was just an actual mixtape with 50 MCs from different locations, and you know what I mean? It was fire, super fire.
Yeah.
So what does 2023 look like? Are we expecting a Cesura Part 3 or what?
Yeah, they're already asking for that in the chat. Yeah. So I'm not promising Cesura 3. It's I'll say that I'm working on it, and that is the final piece to the, I guess you could say, the trilogy. So I'm still working on it. Still the early days. I'm literally talking about this week, just working on it. So it's nowhere near completion. It's nowhere near having an actual date. So maybe it's 2023, but also I'm not going to rush myself. I definitely want to wait till I get all the mixing done, and before I actually announce anything. So could be 2023, could be 2024. But definitely next year you do have some singles on the way, and a secret project. I can't give up too much about it, but I do got a secret project where I'm collabing with somebody, where I think it's going to be a major move, and I'm super humbled with the opportunity to work with this legend in the game. So.
For those who don't know what Cesura means, of course, you explained it on the KS Radio Show, so I know. But for those
I was asking myself that question too. Great question, bro.
But for those who don't know what a Cesura is, explain it. What is it?
Yeah, so a Cesura, if you look at the I wish I had the album art. Actually, I do right here, right? So the album art, if you look at the two lines right there, that's a Cesura, and that's where we get the pause button from. So basically, a Cesura is a pause or an interruption in music. And it indicates that there's a pause coming, you know what I mean, that there's a stop. So for me, it kind of wraps up with my testimony where I had 11 years where I wasn't doing music, I wasn't releasing music. God really had just kind of stripped all of that away from me. I talked about a little earlier about, almost placing a record with Slip and Slide and always being like a step away. This is where he kind of like just pulled it all away from me. Life hit. I literally had no money. So, at that time it was like, I can't even produce on my laptop, you know what I mean? Because I had to give that back to my college when I graduated college. So all these things kind of ran to a head, and this is back in 2009. So you got the crash of the economy, you know what I mean? So I'm just worrying about just trying to have somewhere to live rather than making music. So, but that ended up going into 11 years where I wasn't making music, where I was just focusing on and God's his way to overview it and see everything. I started sound engineering, and even more important than that, during that 11-year time, the last 8 years of that, I rededicated my life to Christ. You know what I mean? So even a lot of the stuff that I was doing before, like I got saved when I was 12, but I backslid, as far as you can go, and I wasn't even interested, you know what I mean, in living for Christ. I wasn't reading my scripture. I wasn't, reading the word. I wasn't praying. I was living this double life basically. So a lot of the same stuff, and I go hang out with my friends or whatever, and I can I could hang out with them the night before, smoking weed or whatever, and then go to church the next morning, and there was no conviction whatsoever. So, basically, it was that 11 years where God kind of like sat me down and organized my priorities, and that, like I said, the last 8 years of that, um, he changed my affections. So I started to live for him again. Serving in my local church body was the thing that actually was most important to me. Got married, had kids, so all of that, kind of like realigned and leads to where I am now.
If you don't mind me asking, what was the initial motivation for you to get saved at 12 years old?
Not to go to hell. Not to go to hell. You know what I mean? So I can remember being in church. I don't remember what was preached. I've been in church all my life. So I grew up in church. I'm used to it, right? And I would always be with the adults because I hated sitting with the kids. I always just felt like I always been mature. So I always felt like I didn't fit with the kids, right? Because it was just immature folks bouncing around and walking the hallways and stuff like that. But I can remember being in church. I remember the seat that I was in, and my pastor at the time, he preached. He preached on something, but at the end, the benediction, he started making a call for salvation, and he started talking about hell. And the thing that ran through my mind all of a sudden, it was like everything just made sense. I was like, you don't want to go there. So that became the motivation, right? Originally was the motivation. I do believe that even though I'm in a place now where I think ultimately the reason you should come to Christ is for Christ, not to escape hell, but for Him, and to know the Lord more. But I think ultimately the Lord did honor me laying down my life that day. I do believe I got saved that day, even though I backslid, even though I did everything under the sun that you shouldn't have. I still think that He honored it that day, and He's doing the work in me now, just like the word says that he's seeing it to completion. So it started off about not wanting to go to hell, but now my eyes are open to the scriptures and the truth that it's more about Him, you know what I mean, rather than just escaping damnation, that type of thing.
That's interesting, man. I kind of have a similar testimony as well, where I gave my life over to Jesus at 12 as well. But I was under the impression that by doing so, something was going to change in my life, like right there on that spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I literally said, "Here, you want my life? Here's my life." And then I waited for something to happen, and when nothing happened, I was like, "This ain't real." And then I left, and my journey in the world began. Like, that's when I really started to spiral out of control. But what was interesting is that the flip of the coin for me was that Jesus showed up to a hospital room when I woke up and half my body wasn't working. So if it was to show me that He was real, and I don't know if maybe something that happened to me at 12 years old that I felt like He probably should have did. I don't know, but like my testimony goes crazy after that. But Him returning back and flipping the coin for me, it was almost like answering that question for me that I asked when I was 12. So when I look at it that I gave my life at 12, or that I wasn't a Christian until I was 32, like for me, I was a Christian when I was 12 because that's when I chose to taste and see if the Lord was good. You know what I mean? Now, it didn't happen in the chain of events that I probably would imagine it should have, right? But in all, like God still had a purpose, still worked some things out. From that moment, I was able to live a lifestyle that now when I preach the gospel, I can go into some of these neighborhoods and people will listen, at least give me enough respect to hear me out, you know what I mean? Right. And I feel like that was God ordained. God allowed that to happen because the reality is, He steps into our lives so that we can be a light in the world, you know what I mean? And what better place to be a light than the very darkness you just came from? It's where you're most familiar, you're probably more comfortable, you know what I mean? Like me, I get more anxiety showing up to a church building than I do showing up to a block, you know what I mean? Like a street corner, you know what I mean? So maybe God uses that way. So whatever you was dealing with at 12 and then whatever you experienced that brought you back to that, it was just part of the plan. So yeah, I agree, you was saved at 12. I believe so too.
That's what I believe, yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
So let's go ahead and jump into some more music. So since we're being real and authentic and transparent right now, I think it's only fitting that we kick this show off with the Cesar Part 2 track called Real As It Gets, featuring, is it Jamil and Darren Stewart?
Yeah, Darren Stewart and Jamil, yep. And then C. Duffel on the hook, yep.
Oh, shout out to C. Duffel, man.
Yes, sir.
Definitely got to get that brother on the show.
Yeah, he blowing up, so yeah.
Blowing up. Then he just went like beat maker or something at Flavor Fest or something?
Yeah, was it Flavor Fest or yeah, something like that. Yeah, the beat battle, yeah. He won.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he won. Definitely blowing up right now. Man. Let's go ahead and jump into that track, Real As It Gets.
So Real As It Gets, let's go, man. Information at the bottom of the screen. Go like, go share, support, comment, do something. Again, here we go with that, right? But his Cash App is at the bottom there as well. If God puts it on your heart, sow into him. You already know, man. Let's get it.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Let's go.
All glory to God. We only do this for the king, you know what I'm saying? Let's go.
This is as real as it get. I shoot and I never miss. Whole squad finna call it bliss. Look like I'm on the list. This is as real as it get. Yeah, whole team we going in. We gonna win. We real, we can, but this is as real as it get.
I know you gonna dig this.
This is as real as it gets.
Shout out to Jesus.
I'm on go. Figure this time I play my role. It's no off season, I stay on the road. They can try to contain me, I break the controllers. Now who you be is about who you know. Luckily I know who saved my soul. Been ready since day one, had to wait down back, and I got the call hours ago. I had friends that turned into foes, and foes into friends, I'm forgiving them both. I don't understand, but the fact that I chose to is what I consider a level of growth. They hop in the demon, I hop in the ghost. Still living holy, but still got the smoke like I'm dilly. I deal independent, the only thing signing right now are the words that I wrote. They acting funny, but I know that I'm different. Count the cost and let God make the difference. I've been working so hard, I know it only take one chance and it change in an instant. How can I be so close to my dreams, but the things I need still feel distant? One thing they can't say about me is I gave my all and I still missed it. Please take it too literally, you can't heal with me, you can't build with me, you can't pray with me, you can't chew with me. I just
You know I had to bring this back. This right here too fire. I need you to share the love. Don't show that support. Shout out to DJ Lost the Bill, you heard?
I shoot and I never miss. Whole squad finna call it bliss. Looking like I'm on the list. This is as real as it get. Yeah, whole team we going in. We gonna win. We real, we can, but this is as real as it get.
I tell you, the kingdom of God got fire.
All glory to God.
This is as real as it gets.
Let's go.
I'm on go. Figure this time I play my role. It's no off season, I stay on the road. They can try to contain me, I break the controllers. Now who you be is about who you know. Luckily I know who saved my soul. Been ready since day one, had to wait down back, and I got the call hours ago. I had friends that turned into foes, and foes into friends, I'm forgiving them both. I don't understand, but the fact that I chose to is what I consider a level of growth. They hop in the demon, I hop in the ghost. Still living holy, but still got the smoke like I'm dilly. I deal independent, the only thing signing right now are the words that I wrote. They acting funny, but I know that I'm different. Count the cost and let God make the difference. I've been working so hard, I know it only take one chance and it change in an instant. How can I be so close to my dreams, but the things I need still feel distant? One thing they can't say about me is I gave my all and I still missed it. Please take it too literally, you can't heal with me, you can't build with me, you can't pray with me, you can't chew with me. I just gotta know you still with me, I don't really care how you feel. They not gon' fit the bills, lost and found in your mill. If they don't do what I will,
let's go,
that's real.
This is as real as it get. I shoot and I never miss. Whole squad finna cone in. We gonna win. We real, we can, but this is as real as it get. This is as real as it gets.
I'm on go. Figure this time I play my role. It's no off season, I stay on the road. They can try to contain me, I break the controllers. Now who you be is about who you know. Luckily I know who saved my soul. Been ready since day one, had to wait down back, and I got the call hours ago. I had friends that turned into foes, and foes into friends, I'm forgiving them both. I don't understand, but the fact that I chose to is what I consider a level of growth. They hop in the demon, I hop in feeling the ghost. Still living holy, but still got the smoke like I'm dilly. I deal independent. The only thing signing right now are the words that I wrote. They acting funny, but I know that I'm different. Count the cost and let God make the difference. I've been working so hard, I know it only take one chance and it change in an instant. How can I be so close to my dreams, but the things I need still feel distant? One thing they can't say about me is I gave my all and I still miss it. Please take it too literally. You can't heal with me, you can't build with me, you can't pray with me, you can't chill with me. I trust God alone cause he's still with me. I don't really care how you gonna dig this. They not gonna fit the bills. Lost and found in your mill. If they don't do it, I will. That's real.
This is as real as it get. I shoot and I never miss. Whole squad finna call it bliss. Book a life I'm on the list. This is as real as it gets. Yeah, whole team we going in. We out, we gonna win. We real, we can't pretend. This is as real as it gets. This is as real as it gets.
Run it up. You hear the blessings, I got it, man. Ain't talking green like the Goblin Land. We run it up like a Spider-Man. You want the smoke and the fire plan. They can't put me out like a fireman. Or we chop it up like karate hands. It's going down like a body slam. Just for the record, we kill every record. I'm driving this record, I pray I don't wreck it. We eating these rappers alive in these seconds. They try to speak wrong, I'ma autocorrect them. Don't care about the fame and the chain and the hustle. Don't care about the banger you claiming you tucking. Came from the bottom, but that don't be nothing. End of the day, gon' be Jesus or nothing. Yeah, God flow got me living well. Living water, go and dig a well. Tried to set me up, but I didn't fail. Wanna crucify me, you need bigger nails. So no, that's an untouchable lean. See bullets fly when they crushing the scene. Saying you walk like I'm stuck in a dream. I've really been homeless with struggling fiends. Sipping on 40s but no one believe. Down at the bottom with nothing but dreams. I'ma ride to the wheel in a muffle of scream. Dropping these singles to double the green. That's a hit. Yeah, we legit. Jesus is it. It's really as it get.
This is as real as it get. I shoot and I never miss. Whole squad finna call it bliss. Book a life I'm on the list. This is as real as it get. Yeah, whole team we going in. We out, we gonna win. We real, we can't pretend. This is as real as it get. This is as real as it gets. This is as real as it gets.
You already know, go share it live. Shout out to DJ Lost and Found, you heard? Yeah, that right there, fire, man. Super fire, man. I like that, man. That energy, that's that feel right energy, you heard?
Yeah. That was really based off of like 06, 05 Jeezy. That's when I heard that beat, I was like, okay, this is that down south 05 like trap, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the inspiration on that one here.
What's your favorite thing about making the music? Is it making it, writing it and all that, or is it the finished product and then going to go perform it?
So I mean, I don't perform. I'm just I'm an introvert, so I'm not trying to get on stage. I might have to one day. You know what I mean? They might make me, but I'd rather not. But I don't know what my favorite thing is probably constructing and building from nothing to having a final product. I'm somebody I like building with my mind. So creating this way, where I bring in the production, I bring in the artists, maybe some additional production if I hear something that could be added to the track, and then also like the mixing and mastering and down to pushing it once it gets out. All of that, bringing all that together, and being able to share a track that I'm proud of really is the I guess like the crowning joy, I guess you could say. Yeah, that's dope for me. Yeah, that's what I love.
What's your usual turnaround time on the track when you get started?
There ain't no usual. So it depends on it depends on for one, I'm funding this myself, right? So if I got the funds, it could take a lot longer to finish a track. Like I've gone and had a track for like a year, right? Without finishing it. But then I've also had tracks that came together in like a weekend. You know what I mean? So it really just depends on how I'm feeling about the track. No, that wasn't me rapping. That was Darren Stewart. Yeah, but how I feel about the track and how well it's going, and also like what do I have going on? Like if I'm working on singles, it's gonna go a lot quicker than if I'm working on a project like a 50 artist project. That took me 2 years to do because I had to work at a slower pace in order to be able to pay everybody, and then also just to not rush the process. You know what I mean? Because originally when I started making the album, I felt a lot of pressure to just live up to the first one. And I went through a couple different sounds. Like the album sounded completely different. You know what I mean? Than where it landed. So it started off with I guess you could say a more like CHH turn up type of feel to it. But then just moving through it, I was like, you know what? I want something that's a little bit more mature, something that's going to speak to folks who's over 30. You know what I mean? Folks who feel like they don't make music for us no more. You know what I mean? So that's really where I landed, was just creating a sound that brought the old with the new. But I really wanted that reminiscent sound of like early 2000s. It's not an exact copy, but the reminiscent sounds are there. You know what I mean? So
Going back to the that 50 artist topic, what was like the biggest challenge? Was it because I'm assuming people were recording their own verses and sending them in, or were y'all all just meeting up in the same studio? So I'm
no. So yeah, everybody sends. I do everything digitally, so everything's through email. Just getting all those people in one spot at one time is, what I mean,
Bananas.
it's probably, it would be bananas. And I'm actually thinking if I, for the next project, maybe that would make sense to do, right? Because I ran into some issues where, everybody records differently. Not everybody's going to, a top flight studio. Then you end up getting some noise in the background because they didn't treat their room or something like that. That then you're in the mixing phase toward the end of the album, and it's like, yo, I'm kind of stuck. You know what I mean? Then you got some artists who don't want to go back and redo their vocals. You know what I mean? They already moved on. So you get a lot of those little issues that happen. But I think the biggest thing is just I underestimated how large of a project I was putting on. Just with the fact that so this dropped September 2nd. I'm just now getting to the point where I feel myself again. I was tired for basically 2 months. You know what I mean? Where I was still making music, but I didn't have the same, like, my brain wanted to go, but my body couldn't. I need the rest. So I didn't realize how much, with those 2 years, how much it took out of me, because you're not going to a studio. I'm doing this, at my house or whatever. But the amount of time, and then once the album is done, you still got to do the back end. You know what I mean? You still got to do the admin work. You still got to do the legal work. You still got to, get everything splits and all that, stuff squared away. So, it was just the magnitude of 50 artists. You know what I mean? I did it once, so it ain't going to happen again.
Yeah. So when you was doing that, were you like breaking the session up? Because I actually was working on I'm actually working on the session right now, and all I got is 15 artists, and I feel like I got to break this session up so that I don't get distortions and all that in the playback. You know what I mean? Not necessarily the bouncing, but the playback. It makes it hard to like be able to edit people's voices. Do you get that?
So one thing that I do is I work with other engineers. I don't just rely on myself, right? So I'll do like the arrangement or whatever before I send it out. But I'll send it out to an engineer who I feel is either has a better ear than me, or somebody that I just respect their ear, right? Because I know that, like, for me, I do live. I'm more adept in like live sound. When you're talking about post work, as far as mixing goes, I give that to the people who have sat, and who really put the time in. I put the time into live, but anything that's post mixing work that's not my forte. So I can tell you, like, hey, we need to work on this frequency at 50K or 50 hertz or whatever. But as far as like actually implementing it and doing it, I don't know how to do it. So I just stick to the arrangements, and then I'll tell the engineer either this is what I want, and then also I allow different engineers to put their spin on it and their sauce on it, because I think that one thing that we don't talk about enough is engineers. Each engineer has their own style, right? Their mixing style. So one of the things I'll do is I'll reach out to a specific engineer because I want their specific style for a specific song. So I don't stick to just myself. And I think if I had a lot of those issues that you're talking about, I probably wouldn't even be able to fix them because I don't have enough knowledge. So I stick to the people who are out there who know more than me.
Okay, right.
So for those who are watching, of course, this is the GodSon listening party, but DJ is not an artist. He is the person behind the scenes getting the artists together. Just to put into perspective, the person who is booking artists for a venue and the host of that event are two different people. Okay, so DJ Lost and Found is the manufacturer of the puzzle, and he's taking these different puzzle pieces, artists, and he's putting them all together for this one giant 1,000-piece puzzle. But he's not a rapper. He's not a singer. He's the person that pulls the strings and he puts the people together for a final project, which is what Cesar Part 2 is.
Right, exactly.
He's just like me, because if a gun was pointed to my head, they said, sing, I'll be dead, because I can't sing. I'll be dead.
Boy, you better learn how to sing right there on the spot. I'm trying to tell you, man, you better hit high notes like Mariah.
Falsetto.
So before we move into any more music, I just want to shout out, we see Lacey going crazy in the chat. Lacey has an event coming up at the end of this week, November 5th, I believe is a Saturday. She's having a memorial cruise / car show for Jesse Woodrow. For those who are in the Troy, Ohio area, it's going to be at the Hobart Arena. I'm guessing, I don't know what that is. It could be a hotel, could be a parking lot. I don't know what it is. But she's having a memorial cruise and car show Saturday, November 5th at 6 p.m. You can contact him or her for more information, you guys. We always want to show love to those who show love in the chat. And they asked me to make an announcement, so I'm making an announcement for this event all week, including Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I think we have a show on Friday. So I'm making announcements for Lacey. Definitely want to pay homage and, respect to Jesse. I'm not sure how they died, but they're holding a car show for them. So I just want to let the audience know that if you are in Troy, Ohio, or if you can make it to Troy, Ohio this Saturday, please do so to support this event.
Word, man. Shout out to Lacey. So you did say him and her. Is that a husband and wife together?
I think it's the husband and wife or girlfriend and boyfriend joint Facebook page.
Okay, all right. Yeah, man. And also, man, for anybody watching, if you have any commercials, anything that you're doing unto the Lord, we here to promote that as well. So if you got a commercial, send it in. If you got an event coming up that you would like to get promoted, reach out. We'll promote that. This is what the platform is really for. We're here to love on each other, man, the way Christ loves us, and that he'll get down and wash our feet. So why not wash each other's feet? You know what I mean? Whether that be literally or hypothetically, however you want to look at it, but let's do it unto the Lord, because this is what we're here for, man. We need to work together as the body. The scripture says, you'll know my children by the love that they have for one another, you know what I mean? And that's really how we trying to move forward, and that's how we trying to give it up. So if you got anything you want promoted, anything that we can help out with, just reach out and we'll help you however you need help, you know what I mean, if possible.
Thanks. I think it's a great time to get into one of the commercials right now. I'm not sure if it's going to be the November event that your elder is putting on, or if it's going to be a different one. I'm excited because Jay Meezy, you the man with the plan, and you know how to put.
Yeah, so let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. For those tuning in, tag somebody that gonna tag somebody else. We're here to support each other. DJ Lost and Found information at the bottom of the screen. Cash App there as well if God put it on your heart. And you already know, man, we'll be right back in the name of Jesus. back, man. We got on the show with us today DJ Lost and Found. So far, what we've been hearing, high quality music. You know what I mean? Shout out to him, man, for doing this thing, being here with us, allowing us just to, shed light on him, man.
So DJ, man, when I hit you up, actually, fun fact, Jamie Z, you don't know this, but when Paul Bill Jr. when he canceled that first Tuesday, I reached out to DJ Lost and Found because I was so hell bent on not canceling the show. And DJ,
yeah, you don't be trying to hear that, you know what I mean?
And DJ, he reached out to some contacts, and literally maybe within 45 minutes, we had a substitute guest. But I didn't tell you because we was already, we had already canceled what we had planned. So anyway, I want to thank you, DJ Lost and Found, for assisting me in that last minute situation. So thank you.
Yeah, I was in radio, so I know what it is. Yeah, I've had people cancel or not show up, right? When they say they're gonna be there. So yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, 100%.
So going to the music. Go ahead, my bad. I'm gonna cut you off, cause.
So I was gonna ask, when I reached out, what made you want to be a guest tonight on the GodSon Listening?
You reached out, bro. I'm all about. I think one of the things that we got to do better with just being artists. I think artists at the, I don't want to say lower level, but like artists who are a little bit less known, I think it's easier to get them to be a guest on the show, right? But booking the bigger artists and like it seems like the larger you get, sometimes the easier it is for artists to kind of forget about media. You know what I mean? So I think if we're to really build up CHH to have a working industry, I think there's some things that we got to change. So when you reached out, you know what I mean, I'm willing to, as long as there's no conflict with the family or something like that, I'm willing to come on and, you're giving me the platform and you're going to introduce me to people who have never heard my music before. So you're doing me the favor, you know what I mean? But I think it's just really important for us artists out there who are in CHH to support, the media outlets, because it's not easy, being in media and trying to drum up like a listener base and to have people tune into the shows live and stuff like that. But it helps when you get artists on, and and the larger the artist, sometimes like the larger listeners that you get, and people find out, you got the sauce. I like how y'all do do your show, so they tune in more. So yeah, I'm all about the community aspect and the unity, and want to see y'all grow too. So yeah, I'm always down.
Absolutely. I just had a young lady who does music. Actually, I want to say she accepted my friend request last night. Kiasha. Said DJ Nice, DJ Lost and Found is dope. She literally just inboxed me that while you were talking. So shout out to her, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So what would you say is like one of the biggest challenges as far as being a Christian artist, doing music and industry stuff and all that?
So I'll speak from my perspective, right? Because I think being a curator, you don't have too many people out here, creating music in the way that I do it. So the way that Alicio explained it, right, is exactly how I do it. I bring all the aspects of a song together, right? So I bring the artist, the production, and I'm playing basically, for lack of a better term, like if you watch Marvel movies, I'm the Kevin Feige, right, of making music. So. Or some people just call me the DJ Khaled of CHH. You know what I mean? Some people have said that about me. So that'll help you understand what I'm doing. But I think as a curator, there's people out there who are doing the same thing that I'm doing, but you don't get the same amount of, I would say, like respect or even a platform as like artists do. I think just having just being a rapper and being a dope rapper, right, it's probably easier for you to get noticed, right? Whereas for me, even my marketing's got to be different. Where a rapper can get on TikTok, do a verse, and that's free marketing for them. I'm not the artist, so and I'm definitely not getting on TikTok doing dances and stuff. So it's harder to figure out. It's harder to figure out the way to market myself, right? Since I'm not the performing artist. I'm more of the artist that's presenting, right? But not being the performing artist is just a different way that you have to market. So even like doing shows like this is I feel like this is the best way for people to feel, to latch on, right? Is they buy into me and then they give the music a chance. So that's another reason why I'm always willing to do interviews, because I feel like you have to be able to sell yourself, right? Because there's not a necessarily a skill set that you can see from me on my side. Like, everything that I'm doing is behind the scenes, so you can't see the skill, because that's the thing that really attracts people, right? Is to see your ability to sing, your ability to rap, your ability to produce. Even producers are on these social media sites doing this. So yeah, that's probably the hardest thing is actually finding a way to market yourself when you're a curator, because it's just a different. It's almost like you're a label. You know what I mean? Just an independent label. So that's the hardest thing.
So how about your relationship with your church? As far as music goes, do you see that sometimes it could be a hindrance, or not so much in your church, but maybe in other churches? Why do you think that is, if so?
Yeah. I think it's definitely a hindrance. Yeah. Depending on where you are, right? Praise God. I in the church that I'm in now, not a whole lot of people listen to hip hop, but there's a lot of people who believe in me. Who I have a teacher, right, in my church, or an elder I should say, who is using my music to reach his son who's 15, right? And normally he wouldn't know how to reach his son, right? So I think that yeah, I definitely am just blessed to have the backing of my church, not in a way of like I'm doing concerts, every week or something like that. But for those who do know me, they've been very helpful and encouraging. You know what I mean? And some people who don't even listen to CHH at all have started listening, and will use my stuff while they're working out or whatever, and start listening to hip hop. You know what I mean? So I think for one, it opens up the door for some people in my case, and then others. I think sometimes it's really difficult for certain artists because they get a lot of pushback. I think that there's ways that people think of CHH, and they think that rap or hip hop in general is evil. To where I don't think that a genre is evil. Is evil. It's the people and the content that's being put out there, right? So, I'm just in a situation where people are supporting my content, but I know that there's other artists where they might be in a church where CHH is frowned upon. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm just in a fortunate position.
Now, when you say CHH, is that the way you identify as an artist, or not?
Yeah. So I identify as CHH because the place that I know that is my base, right, is Christian hip hop. It depends on what you're talking about, right? Are you talking about like gospel hip hop and like how we, holy hip hop, that type of thing? Because I see them all as one personally. But I always want people to know that there's a clear distinction that this is Christian music, right? Even if it's like a love song about a husband and a wife, it's still Christian music. Primarily, it's for Christians, but I also, I want to make music that is also going to be not only acceptable but measure up. You know what I mean, to what's out there in the secular realm. And like I just had my cousin reach out to me. I can remember years ago I played Swoop for him, and he was with it for like 2 tracks, and as soon as Swoop said Jesus, he stopped vibing with it. So, and this is back in like 2010, I think. But now he just hit me up probably a couple weeks ago. He listened to my album, and he was like, "Yo, it's dope," and and it wasn't even that it's dope even for a Christian album. He just said it's dope. So, having the ability to have people even outside of the faith just kind of recognize the quality, and hopefully is touching him as well, to where, you know, the Lord is actually, or the Holy Spirit is actually, you know, starting to like to mold his heart and soften his heart to what he wants to do. So I'm CHH through and through, but I'm not afraid to share it outside of that as well.
Okay, all right.
All right, so it's the listening party, man. So Zora 2 is out now. And, man, we got the rest of the music for the rest of the show from Zora 2. So it's only fitting that we get into, I want to say Foolish was that the first single off of the project before you released it?
It was one of the first. Yeah.
Right. So Foolish, it features, forgive me if I'm butchering his name, is it Bats?
Yeah.
Bats, Stevie Rizzo, and Bumps M from God Over Money.
Right.
This is a fire track, by the way. What was the inspiration to bring these three different men to get on this one track?
You know what? So I I talked about moving to Dallas, right? I happened to be in a Whataburger. I was out here with my family. We was just, you know, we was living out of a hotel until our house was done being built, and you know, we were sitting in the Whataburger parking lot, and there was a producer on Facebook who was like, he had like a sponsored post or whatever. So I heard the beat. I liked the beat, so I just started checking out his other beats, and I heard this one. And I was like, yo, I got to do something with this beat. So I bought it. And right away, I was like, you know what? I want to do a boom bap track, but I don't want it to be, I want the younger kids to be able to associate with it too as well. So that's why I got Bats, and he's the first voice you hear is Bats. So that way you get the younger audience to connect, and then they give the rest of the song a chance. And then, you know, those of us who love boom bap, you just, you know, you're gonna hear the beat and start vibing with it. And then once the lyrics come in, you already hear the quality. So, yeah.
Word. So you already know this right here called Foolish. Again, information at the bottom of the screen. Go show love. Go show support. Cash App is there too if God put it on your heart to sow into him. But you already know, man. Let's get into this right here. It's Foolish featuring Bats.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Yeah, let's go. It wasn't me that put me in this position. God showed the signs and I'm the one that paid attention. Yeah, that's it, ayy. God bless me with a gift. He don't run on front lines. He the type to take a hit, yeah. On this journey I embark, I'm just doing my part. I'm firm guarding my heart. God set us apart. We taking God to the charts. He a real life superhero. I ain't talking Tony Stark. Check this. Repeat the message. Now we counting blessings. I'm happy where I'm at, homie. I ain't stressing. Promise came in my life. I know that's God testing. Every hard point in my life, that was the lesson. Look, I got a question. Are you the one that's in control, or you sit on sidelines while God plays raw? I got a question. Have you ever played the fool? You be thinking that it's you, but God gave you the tools.
The fool, thinking I can do it. I really play.
Shout out to DJ Lost and Found. Let's go.
Lord, it was all with you through the highs and the lows. I really play the fool, but here you are.
I miss my fair share of shots that I take. So it's easy to think I cannot get a break. In this game of life, I got too many watching me play. So I gotta be mindful on how I respond to the hate. Anyone that's heard my music knows the obvious trait is my shortcomings, cause I choose to put mine on display. Never been perfect, nah, I'm not finna fake. Just know I mean it when I say, homie, if not for His grace. Thank you, Lord. Yeah, cause I desperately just need it. Played the fool too often with my recipe in Jesus. Too many times that I have left you in my weakness, only to return or need some rescuing from Egypt. It's either that or I'm still walking in the wilderness. Help me follow you, cause I know that your will's the best. So when the times where I'm reminded that I'm still a mess, just tell me chill, cause regardless how I feel, I'm blessed.
The fool, thinking I can do it. I really play.
This right here is smooth.
The fool, thinking I control. Lord, it was all with you through the highs and the lows. I really play the fool, but here you are. Oh, I really play the fool, thinking I could do it. I really play the fool, thinking I control. Lord, it was all with you through the highs and the
All glory to God. We only do this for the king, you know what I'm saying? Let's go.
I like that, man. I definitely like that. I was actually just thinking about something you had said earlier, a point that you were made as far as how when your man was listening to the music, the minute he heard Jesus, do you think that that's because the song wasn't good, or you think that when people are not in Christ, just like something like Jesus is something that is like standoffish kind of, or offensive in a way? Do you think that that was the reason?
Yeah, it was exactly that because it was offensive. So this is Swoop. Like we talking about. I forget what the album is called, Time or something like that. But this is for me is probably a top three CHH album of all time. So for me, but yeah, so it wasn't the quality. It was just a matter of because he was rocking with it. He heard the intro, he heard the second song, he was rocking with it. But as soon as he heard Jesus, he was offended, and all of a sudden like he shut down, right? And me knowing my cousin, I already know that if you try to introduce Christ at all, he's shutting down and he don't want no part. So it was definitely him being offended, and it might have been at that time, what I mean, like him being having some conviction, you know what I mean, because he was raised up in church as well, but it's just a matter of the path that he ended up going down. So, but the Lord's still working on him. So,
yeah, right. I mean, yeah, man. I just think about that because one thing that I've noticed as well, where when I make music, where it's like it sounds crazy, but then when they realize that I'm not talking the streets, you know what I mean, and I'm talking Jesus, it's almost like I get put in a whole nother category, and I'm like, like bro, like I can rap with the best of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Why all I'm doing is saying something different than what you saying, but it's just something that boggles my mind all the time, and
yeah.
And it's also something that because I hear all the time where they be like, rap music can't be worship music, but then you get things in the world where people can't hear a Christian rap song, and I'm thinking to myself, it's the same thing. It's a heart for God, and maybe rap music is worship music because it represents our heart, and it can't you can't put it in another box, and that's probably why the world reacts to even Christian rap music that same kind of way. So I don't know. It's just thoughts that was going through my mind.
It definitely is worship. Yeah.
So worship, where does worship come from? It comes from our heart. So if what's in your heart comes out as rap, then why is it not accepted?
Right. Right. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Yeah.
You feel me?
And worship honestly is our lifestyle, right? Everything that we do, right? So even the food you eat is worship. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we think of it like that, but it's worship. It's not. The music is an expression of worship. It's not the actual worship. How you live your life, for the Lord is worship. So, for me, man, listen, I've learned more Bible verses from CHH than I have from worship music. I prefer CHH over worship music. Nothing wrong with it if that's your thing. You know what I mean? But for me, it's not. I love CHH. Now, it's not something where I can't listen to CHH during like prayer time or something like that. But you know what I mean. I just put on like an instrumental or something like that. But for me, I gotta say, CHH has been primary in me. Coming back to the Lord. The Lord has used it, so I don't agree where people say it's not worship. It's very much worship.
Amen. DJ Lost and Found. Jay Meezy has two different shows. He has this show as well as the GodSon podcast, which is where we dive deeper into your testimony. So with him having two shows, is there anyone that you would suggest that we could reach out to be a guest, either in December or in January?
Let me think on it. I could definitely get you some people. Yeah, 100%.
That.
So as far as the, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as far as just the CHH music, where do you see it like in the next 5-10 years within the church? Do you think it's something that's gonna be more accepted? Meaning like at first it was more rigid, and now more people are doing it, or do you think it's just gonna stay like that?
It's a good question. I think that as man, this is a hard question because where is hip hop going in total? over the next 5 years. They say that hip hop is dying down, where it's not as it doesn't have as strong of a hold on society as it did for like 20 years, so 20, 30 years. So I think within the church, I think it's still going to grow. I think the reason is because if you want to reach the younger generations, they, for the most part, it seems like hip hop is their thing, right? Even if it's not CHH that they're listening to, they're listening to hip hop. So I think, and this, I guess that also boils down to your demographic. You know what I mean? Where are you? Where are you? In my church right now, I know that there's kids who listen to CHH, but I'm sure there's plenty who don't and who can care less. Who probably listen to like alternative rock or something like that. I don't. But so I think it's definitely going to continue to grow. I think because we're so niche and the Christian market is there are so many people out there who are looking for hip hop that is not only an alternative to what's out there in the secular, but also like safe to listen to, where you don't have to have your guard up. You know what I mean? And you can play it in front of your kids, and you're not worrying. Hopefully, you're not worrying about cussing and content that is sinful. I guess you could say. I think with CHH it alleviates all of that, and even if you want to take it to the business now, we tend to be cheaper than your secular artists when you're talking about sync placements. So if you are somebody who plays video games, right? If you played Madden or if you played NBA 2K recently, they have, I would say, probably 30% of those songs in there are CHH, and people are openly praising the Lord on those tracks. Like, so I think part of the reason is because business wise, we are a little bit cheaper than the secular world. And working with some secular artists, I can say for sure we're cheaper. We're cheaper. We work for cheaper. So I think that's another aspect of why we'll continue to grow, is because it's just financially it makes more sense for a company if they want to save their bottom line. So
Now, DJ Lawson fan, have you had one of your songs be featured on like a video game or like on like a like a movie trailer or anything like that?
Yeah. So I'm trying to find a way. I know somebody who's on Fast and Furious, the next one, Fast 10. So I'm trying to find the way to get my song started up that you guys heard today earlier on that, because I think it's perfect. It's a perfect feel for Fast and Furious. But I also have some music that I think ESPN could definitely utilize for like the Kobe Day. They do that every year now since his passing. I have a song that literally is kind of like my homage to Kobe. So yeah, I have some music out there. I'm trying to get into sync placements. That's another area where I would like to get into, because I think just financially it's one of the best ways to make money in music right now. And if you ever want to be full time, you can definitely be completely full time from doing music if you're doing syncs and landing a lot of placements. So.
That's amazing. I always so are you familiar with this? I don't know if he's independent or not, but Kanata Small.
Yeah,
Are
yeah, yeah.
you
Oh yeah.
familiar with Kanata? Because
Yeah.
Kanata, like no exaggeration, he's been on like HBO premieres
Yeah.
and Fortnite game. Like
Hmm.
every 6 months, is a new trailer coming out that's being used with his either his instrumental or his song in the background.
Right.
I don't know how he does it. I don't know who's behind him, but Kanata is putting on for CHH, and I'm thankful and grateful to be a friend.
Yeah. They got a sync company. So I think it's Good City Music. They got a sync company where they
Oh,
got
that's what
artists.
it is. Because I
Yep.
always hear him shout it out, and
Yeah.
I was like, well,
Yeah.
maybe that's like his label down south or something. But no, it's
Yeah, they
sync
connected.
company.
They got Jared Sanders on there. They got SO. I think they got a couple more people on there, but they killing it. So they might be somebody to reach out to. You know, what I mean, if you're trying to get into the sync game, hopefully you can learn from them, or even somebody like a T Walla who been in the sync game for a long time. So yeah, we got folks who's out there and got their hands in there.
That's what's up. Jay Meezy, man, you ready for some more music, bro?
Yeah. I just got one question. What are some good tips because you had just mentioned about getting on the Fast and Furious soundtrack and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some good tips you can give somebody who's trying to do marketing and possibly get on the soundtrack like that?
Yeah, so first and foremost, make sure the song is good, right? That's first and foremost. But I think the best thing to do is to research music supervisors. And once you do that, try to not in a weird way, but like try to create a relationship with them. That you're not the first thing that you do is you don't reach out and just throw your music at them, right? Because they get that all day. You know what I mean, everybody does that. So if you can find a way to differentiate yourself and actually bring them some value, then I think that's a good way to get in the door. Because then once you got their ear and the music is good, then they're going to start to think of you and start to reach out to you, right? So for me, I can speak to, I just don't have that relationship yet, right? But you want to look up because there's a ton of music supervisors out there. Even maybe join the Music Supervisor Guild, right? So you actually become a member of the actual organization that they're a part of, and that way you can either go to events, whether it be virtual or in person, and meet people in person. You know what I mean? So these are different steps you can take, but just be honest and real. And I think that as long as you're not trying to take advantage of people, I think that they can sniff that out because they get that all day. So as long as you're just being yourself and being honest, you got a good shot.
Well, appreciate that.
Like I said early in the chat, man, DJ Lost and Found dropping gems tonight, man. I hope y'all got y'all pencil, pen, instruction, and markers to take notes.
Y'all got good questions, so it is what it is, yeah.
So we know we got about 24 more minutes until the end of the hour. So I think it's time. I think it's fitting for some music. And I know we needed 5 songs to make this a full show. And you definitely knocked my socks off with these last 2 joints that I have never heard of.
Okay.
Ops and Avenue and What's the Move. Like, I was blown away.
Yeah.
First time listening to them. Avenue with Dayton and Sharon.
Yeah.
That track was crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dayton. Yeah, I don't know the other brother, but I know Dayton.
Right.
Shout out to Dayton. So now, you being from Jersey, you know Dayton personally?
Nah, I don't know him personally, but we both from Newark though, so yeah.
Okay.
But not personally. But I got his number. I don't be blowing people's numbers up.
Yeah.
It ain't my thing. Yeah, I don't know him yet.
All right. So what we getting into? You want to do Avenue then?
I definitely want to do Avenue, and I want to let the audience know you better call the fire department right now. You better have them on speed dial because it's about to go down.
So let's get it, man. You already know information at the bottom of the screen. Go like, go share, go support, go sow into them if God put it on your heart. And this right here is called Avenue featuring Dayton. Let's go.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Let's go. Shout out to DJ Lost and Found.
They call me Triple DZ on the avenue. A little savage dude with an attitude. I was rather brutal. I was known to run the mug, starting trouble up. It was green lighting anyone that wasn't one of us.
No,
Kept the
you
mag
gonna
on
dig
the black
this.
cat filled up. Throwing up my set, screaming black killer. My neighbor screaming they was that crack dealer when she saw me on the corner trying to stack that Skrilla. They tell me crime pays and I fell for the eyes. I was hellbound, having one hell of a time. The devil had me but I couldn't tell. I was blind until God removed the scales and they fell from my eyes. Life and death was before me and I had to choose. I chose life, then the Father sent me back to do work. Now I'm fishing and they calling me a radical, cause I be on the avenue passing out a track or two.
Whoa, quick to listen, ayy, slow to speak, I'm on the road, now I'm fishing, ayy, it's somebody on the floor, let me get them, ayy, it's somebody on the floor, let me get them. Whoa, quick to listen, ayy, slow to speak, I'm on the road, now I'm fishing, ayy, it's somebody on the floor, let me get them, ayy, it's somebody on the floor, tag along, what's the matter wrong, this ain't Babylon, prayers up, blessings going down like an avalanche, verily I need security to be in parity. Ministry is fighting enemies and building charity. I was praying for the people in the devastation.
station. They haters think I'm going left, I had a hesitation. I remember as a kid playing Sega Genesis, and now I'm getting older praying for a revelation. Can't you tell, baby, I'm not anybody. I'm a standing soldier, gotta help out many bodies. I was called and I was chosen, he picked me and I was open. Now he picking someone else that look like any money. Whoa, hey, look up, he gave me the hook up. Oh, pick up, hands like a stick up. Oh, look up, worship with the book up. We roaming in Romans and ain't nothing real up. Whoa, quick to listen, ay, slow to speak, I'm on the road, now I'm fishing. Ay, there's somebody on the floor, let me get them. Ay, let's go, shout out to the chat. Whoa, quick to listen, ay, slow to speak, I'm on the road, now I'm fishing. Ay, it's somebody on the floor, let me get them. Ay, it's somebody on the floor, flow.
Tell you, man, Kingdom of God got too much fire, you heard? It's a fact. Yeah, man. I don't even know what to say, man. I don't know what to say, man. I love music. You know, music for me has always been a way for me to, like, you know, decompress. You know what I mean? And this music right here that we've been listening to, definitely on the list, man. Definitely going on the list. Shout out to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Definitely appreciate the music you're making, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it, bro.
So how that go ahead.
How that one come together?
Yeah.
So, yo, you know what? Shout out to On Beat, OB. He does basically a sale every Black Friday. So it's coming up. Artists just coming up. Get your money together. Where he gets some of the biggest artists in the space to collab with. So he'll do the beat, the production, and then he'll get an artist to either do like a hook or a verse. So just so happens last year he did a sale, and I heard Dayton. I was like, yo, this is my only chance to get Dayton, because I already know Dayton, his feature fee is probably crazy. You know what I mean? So so shout out to On Beat for making that possible. But yeah. So I reached out. And then with Shawan, man, that's my dude. Obviously, I've worked with him on both projects, and you know, just in real life, that's my dude. So he's somebody who I go to if I'm like stumped on a song. I'm like, I went to him. I was like, you know, I want this song to be about, you know, about witnessing basically, but I don't want it to be to where you can necessarily tell that from first listen. So I want you to actually go back and listen to it. And you know, even from being able to share that with unbelievers was rocking with it, because I don't think they really knew what was going on in the bars yet. You know what I mean? They just rocking with the flows, right? So, and then you know, also just being a DJ, you know, once you have a beat that's like over 90 BPM, people just bob their head, you know, automatically. So, yeah, all of that went into creating that track, and yeah, man, just honored to work with those fellas.
Man. I think music is one of like the dopest ministry tools that we have, and at least in this generation, being that this generation is so inclined to music. You know what I mean? Man, I've watched music change a whole atmosphere of a party, whether it be negative or positive, right? I mean, but that's how powerful music is, man. And if we can just make it in the put it in the forefront, like. This music, the quality that we've been playing on this show, not just this one, but in prior shows, the quality is so high that there's no reason why this shouldn't be on the forefront. Like the way, you know, how come it's not like on the top 10 type of thing? And I'm thinking like, if we support each other more and we continue to push each other forward, you know, we just might be there. We might be there, because, you know, music is that powerful, man. And right now, especially with what's going on in the media, with the whole Kanye West thing and all of that, I mean, it just shows you, man, how far music could take you, because here you got somebody like Kanye who started off with just making beats or whatever he was doing, and now, you know, look at where he's at right now. I think he's inspiring and uninspiring people, if that's even a word, right? But I just say this, man, that music is definitely a powerful tool for ministry, and I would hope, you know, that ministers or pastors of churches would start to embrace the artists in your church. And I'm not saying that they don't, right? So we know that some churches do, but other churches don't, because we've had guests that have talked about that as well. And I would just say, man, embrace it, because, you know, we can use everything. Number one belongs to God. So there's nothing on this world that belongs to Satan. I know people like to give them holidays and this, that, and the third, but as for me and my household, every day is a day that the Lord made, but even the music in itself, man, when we go to the earliest history of music, it's always been in relation towards worship. They would sing these songs to worship their deities or whatnot. So it has that spiritual connection. And I would say, man, to pastors, embrace it. You got a youth that's a generation that's coming up that, soon our generation is going to be pushed out. And this generation is going to be the one that's leading the race. So embrace it now so that way you can have your hand in, encouraging and molding and, be there, because if you just pushing it away, they're going to go do it anyway. And they're just going to do it behind your back, and they might do it with somebody who might not give them the right advice. So you being a pastor, just embrace it, you know what I mean, and word.
DJ Lost and Found is there. So with you being a curator, can you give me your top 4 artists that you would love to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Let's think. I don't have a list. So I'm trying to think of. I'm feeling. It's the pressure. It's the lights. I can't think of names right now. Stephen Malcolm. Would love to work with Stephen Malcolm. Let's think. Would love to work with. I'm actually conflicted about this, but I think Natalie Lauren is extremely talented. If you don't remember, she was Susie Rock back in the old days. Seems like she might have left the faith, so that's where I'm conflicted about. But I think she's an extremely talented writer. Who else is out there? Swoop, somebody I would love to work with. Last one. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with Lecrae? I think, to be honest, just having him on the track just gets, the clout, I guess you want to say. So yeah, those are just names that I have like a list, but it's not something I would refer to right now. So I don't have it in front of me right now. So, but yeah.
Are you the type of artist that's open to working even with secular artists?
Yeah. So on my last album, I actually have one artist on there who's secular. Basically, he did a hook for a beat that I fell in love with, and I rolled with it. You know what I mean? Because his performance was so perfect to me that I was like, you know what? There's no way I'm getting rid of this. But I'm also not going to allow somebody else to buy this beat with this hook and utilize it for, a bad cause. I'm gonna flip the meaning of the hook, and we're gonna use it to glorify Christ. So instead of basically and it's not the op song that you guys have, but there's basically about shooting your op and everybody like talking about demons nowadays, demon time and all of that. I switched that around to the op is the enemy, and he the one that we firing on. So it's a trope that we used a lot here in CHH, but yeah, that was big for me. That just in the future, even in the future, I think depending on the artist, I'm willing to work secular. Because I think, I don't know where this is going to go 5 to 10 years from now. But it could be possible that the Lord wants, CHH to integrate within hip-hop, you know what I mean? And, not just stay in our little corner over here, you know what I mean, where it's just us primarily, but going to the world, man. And there's a lot of people who have already, but I think there's still so much more that we can showcase. So yeah, if there's definitely limits, you know what I mean? We're not just going crazy, but talent is talent. So I'm open to it, but there is an evaluation, you know what I mean, that has to take place too. So
yeah, something like song and the content inside the song and all that, you know what I mean?
That got to be right. Yeah. Got to be right.
Yeah, I definitely I don't see nothing against us working, because I'm thinking to myself, man, those are the people that need to be saved anyway. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you want them on a song with you? You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you? If you're supposed to be a light, you're supposed to be the one that changes things, right, on earth as it is in heaven. Why would you shy away from working with secular artists? That's why, I give shout out to Kanye, and at first, I ain't going to front. At first, I didn't know how to receive that. At first, I was actually kind of mad that he would have a bunch of secular artists. But then when I sat down with the Lord and I just started to speak with the Lord and how he sat down with tax collectors and sinners, You know, and I was thinking to myself, am I being just as religious as those Pharisees that were, you know, calling him a sinner and a glutton and a drunkard and all that? Am I doing the same exact thing? So when I started seeing, when I started thinking like that, I started to see that there is glory in there. There is a glory, and in fact, I think that's probably more glory in that than getting on a song with a bunch of other dudes that already agree with your message. I think, man, our goal is to, you know, churches should be filled with sinners, not Christians. You know what I mean? And Christians should be out in the world gathering the sinners, bringing them to the church. You know what I mean? But how we ever gonna do that if we don't want to engage in these spaces? If we, you know, we don't want, yo, bro. And I think I said this the last podcast, but there was a time I was in a club, you know, in a nightclub, and I went to go use the bathroom, and a dude came in and locked the door behind me. You know what I mean? And we sat in that bathroom for like 45 minutes, and this dude was crying. You know what I mean? Just pouring out his heart. He's like, yo, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I need to talk to you. He ain't even know I was a Christian. He ain't know nothing. You know what I mean? I wasn't in there being mad religious or nothing. But it just opened my eyes to saying, you know what, like, if we're not gonna be in these places, who is? Yeah. You know what I mean? If we're not gonna be in the clubs and we're not gonna be in the Halloween parties, and who's gonna be there? You know what I'm saying? That's representing the kingdom. So, yeah, again, man, let's not give nothing to Satan. He doesn't own anything.
100%.
Absolutely. So, man, you got this track. I think it's called Ops with the homie Reconcile, and forgive me, is it Talisama?
Talisama, yeah.
First time hearing of this young lady, however old she is, and I am mind blown. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Technically she's secular, right? Because she's a Christian, but she's not in CHH, and she don't have, as far as I know, any desire to be. So, you know, and there's a couple of artists on the album who's out there, you know, who are in the secular realm, but they believers and they live by it. So.
So I want to say, out of all the music that we played tonight, she's the only female on the track. So we definitely want to shine some light on her, because there's definitely female MCs out here that's doing their thing.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Shout out to Faith Taurus. You know what I mean? It's another dope female artist.
Definitely putting on. Shout out to Gigi, female rapper.
Yeah, man. Definitely out there, man.
Putting on for the Lord. You hear me?
Yeah.
So this Ops track is on Cesar 2. It's featuring Reconcile and Talisama.
Yep.
Let's run it up for the Lord, man.
Let's get it.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Let's go. Shout out to DJ Lost and Phil. Go show that love.
Drop like dead, streets being dead, I'm already knowing. Fresh out of cell and back to a cell, I'm already knowing. Struggle for real and back to a cell, I'm already knowing. Drop like dead, streets being dead, I'm already knowing. Smoking his body in Holly. They smoke all his homies, they all dead. 305 out the Northwest. Ain't no more serving the trap day. They hop out with shooters, it's young, to shoot. I'm beating the block like from day back to Houston. They calling it Houston. They blind when they shoot. I done lost too much life to be losing. My faith on 100 something. They call me the hope in the streets I can't run from. Got the hope in the reach I can't run from. Came straight out them, but now we up some. All this death for a life, we gon' swap it out. I swear I be spots, they be capping by. When turns up my hustle and turn it off. The pressure be crucial, gon' swap it out. Yeah, but it's cover all that block. My bro doing fed time, he can't provide shit. You can't do nothing, you sitting in cell. No money for diapers or bed. My nigga be right and they feel it in hell. You look in the mirror and look at yourself. I show you your ops for real. Your homie be capping.
You know I gotta bring this back. This joint right here is spicy. Go show that love, go show that support. Shout out to DJ Lost and Found. Let's go.
Drop like dead, streets being dead, I'm already knowing. Fresh out of cell and back to a cell, I'm already knowing. Struggle for real and back to a cell, I'm already knowing. Drop like dead, streets being dead, I'm already knowing. Smoking his body in Holly. They smoke all his homies, they all dead. 305 out the Northwest. Ain't no more serving the trap day. They hop out with shooters, it's young, to shoot. I'm beating the block like from day back to Houston. They calling it Houston. They blind when they shoot. I done lost too much life to be losing. My faith on 100 something. They call me the hope in the streets I can't run from. Got the hope in the reach I can't run from. Came straight out them, but now we up some. All this death for a life, we gon' swap it out. I swear these spots they be capping by. When turns up my hustle and turn it off. The
Recipe crucial, gon' swap it out, yeah. Cover that stick, talk, cover that block. My bro doing fed time, he can't provide shit. You can't do nothing, you sitting in cell. No money for diapers or bed. My nigga be right, they feel it in hell. You look in the mirror and look at yourself. I show you your ops for real. Your homie be capping, be cops for real. That's why I'm your ops for real. Graduate to learn nothing, you stick with the stick on your options. Spin a band on the set, spin a band on the set, and these boys be flexing. Imagine you spending on education. Imagine you spending on elevation. Flipping the real estate, starting the business, employing the hood. So you pay attention, see most of these be robbing, serving, stabbing, dead in prison. Seeing again, getting on the lack of the business. I had to get on my knees and pray, now I'm ducking them people. Yeah, I'm free from the bars and the pavement. I used to be chained,
Let's go.
The Lord is my witness, my savior and the reason he died for the sinner. I was the chief of the sinners, yeah. The Lord is my witness, my savior and the reason he died for the sinners, and I was the chief of the sinner, yeah. Yeah, trap like dead, streets being dead, I'm already knowing.
I know you gonna
dig
dig
back to a
this.
cell, I'm already knowing. Struggle for real and back to a cell, I'm already knowing.
I know.
Trap like dead, streets being dead, I'm already knowing. Trap like dead, streets being dead, I'm already knowing. First out of cell and back to a cell, I'm already knowing. Struggle for real and back to a cell, I'm already knowing. Trap like dead, streets being dead, I'm already knowing.
From the trap, now I'm putting my team on the map. I was thrown to the wolves, so I had to adapt, cause I got the hood on my back. At the age of 15, I was playing with straps and running with shooters and masks. God told me to leave all of that in the past and walk on a holier path. Now I'm finally walking with Jesus, in the spiritual war with these demons. Had to cut off a whole lot of people that walked out on me at the times when I needed them. God took me up out of the streets, so I started investing my time into seeking him. Show respect when you see me, I keep it real. I blew up independent, they needed bill. Haters talking, throwing dirt on my name, I'm already knowing. They cannot stop us, anointed by God, I was already chosen. Came up in the trenches, I remember sleeping in the trap with the roaches. Started getting money, lost a lot of homies at the top to get lonely.
Let's go.
Lord, my witness, I just youngin' up out of the city, I'm paving the way, yeah, I had to go get it. They hating while I'm getting rich. Hey, Lord, my witness, I came up around shooters and killers, I'm making a change for all of my children. Said I couldn't, but I went and did it.
First out of cell and back to a cell, I'm already knowing. Struggle for real and back to a cell, I'm already knowing. Trap like dead, streets being dead, I'm already knowing. Trap like dead, streets being dead, I'm already knowing. First out of cell and back to a cell, I'm already knowing. Struggle for real and back to a cell, I'm already knowing. Trap like dead, streets being dead, I'm already knowing.
All glory to God. We only do this for the king, you know what I'm saying? Let's go.
That right there, I'm already knowing, man. Hey, yo, shout out to Reconcile, too, man. I'm hip with that, bro. You from Dade County, right? You from Pork and Beans or something? My man, shout out to my man, Level. Level Martinez is out there as well. You know what I mean? But them brothers out there, man, so much soul out there, man. But yeah, shout out to y'all for that track. Well,
yeah, thank you. Appreciate that, yeah.
How you connect with Reconcile?
So Rec's somebody who I wanted to work with for a while. I actually, back when I was just a fan, I went to a concert back in, this is probably, 2017, something like that. I was just a fan, saw Reconcile perform in person with all the energy and all of that. And then also got a chance to chop it up with him a little bit, play some ball. And he was just a regular dude, right? So that was kind of like my first introduction to CHH artists in person. So to see him, back then, I knew he was a real dude, and I knew that all that he does for the street and is literally is really a ministry for him. He's really out there, so I know that he's really putting in work. So that's why I wanted to reach out to him. So I was like, you know what, I want to make a drill track. If you want to talk about on the creative aspect. He's from Miami, right? So to bring his Miami style to drill, I feel like it's something that hasn't really been done before. Maybe it has, but I haven't heard it. I thought that married together, those styles married together really well, and provided like a lot of energy, right, for that track. But then, also when I reached out to him, I was like, yo, I need you to speak to the street. Like this one, this song was not for believers at all. Like if you enjoy it, good, but this song really is for the streets, because this we got an epidemic right now with drill. I think drill is not evil in itself, but we have artists who out there who are killer op, and then you dancing over the body, right, with drill music in the background, you smoking your op and stuff like that, and there's such a perverse I think just association to drill right now, just because of how people utilize it, that I was like, man, this is the sound of right now. And also, I think it's the sound that is probably going to I think lead the underground, right, and underground hip hop for a while, because it's the hardest thing out, right? Like you can't get much harder than drill. So now it's flooding the streets in New York. And my boy, he works with young teenagers and stuff, and I think he's lost like 6 kids, I think, you know what I mean, to the streets, like, and it's a lot of it is connected to drill. So I definitely wanted to get artists who not only could speak, what I mean, authentically, right? Because anybody can speak to the street, but speak authentically. And I think they both did that, Reconcile and Telly Sama. But yeah, this one wasn't even for the believers at all. Like, even I still got time, but I would love to make a video to this that looks exactly how you would see like a drill video be shot, and it's just gritty, and what's the, I can't think of a word, but gritty is probably the best way to put it. And I know that you can get your music videos on like World Star Hip Hop, right? And I know that's where I saw a Lecrae video years ago, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what was instrumental in me coming back to the Lord, right? And kind of like that last step. So I want to do the same thing, where I really want to make a video and put it in the places where people are going to gravitate to this type of thing, and then you hear the production right off the beat, right off the bat, and you may not think that this song has the gospel in it, but there's a gospel message in there. There's the message of getting your money right, of getting education. You have the testimony that Tali Sama gave. So I think with this, that track it has a lot of potential, I think, to reach the streets, and for me, it's one of my favorites because of that on the album.
So what is your thoughts on drill? Do you like that style of music?
I love drill. I've been listening to drill for years now. I actually love UK drill more than CHH personally.
I think they were like the originators, right?
So they say it's Chicago. Actually, they say it's Chicago. But the UK kind of same type of thing. It took over the UK, right? To the point where they had to ban drill from the radio stations. You can't hear drill out in the UK. They don't allow it.
I heard the same thing with the DJs out in New York. They stopped
Right.
playing the drill.
They stopped playing drill, right? Because it caused so many issues, right? Chicago caused so many issues. So that's the thing. I'm like, yo, this sound is not going away, right? Because it provides too much energy and bravado, and if you want to utilize this to go out into the street and do something, like, this is the perfect like soundtrack, right? Because of that energy that it gives you, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's not going nowhere, right? So I think the best thing for us is to utilize it. You know what I mean? And just on a selfish tip, like, yeah, I do love the sound. Like, it's different. It is there's a I think an unmatched energy that you get from drill, right? And I'm not even talking like frequencies and all that weird stuff, but like just the natural like scientific energy that it gives you, like it builds, right? So yeah, for me, I love the genre of drill.
Drill's like the heavy metal version of rap, right?
There you
like
go.
that.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, it's the sound of the future for the foreseen future. But yeah, we'd love to do a video and all of that for that.
Yeah, definitely. What's up, Lisha?
Well, I know we are, a little bit over our time limit. We got one more song. Again, you guys, our guest today is DJ Lawson Found. You guys see the information at the bottom of the screen. His newest project, Cesar Part 2, is available wherever you listen to music at, whether it's YouTube, Spotify.
Cesar means to pause.
Yep. Yeah.
Pause.
Pause.
So it's on all digital platforms, wherever you listen to music and enjoy music. So definitely stream it, download it today. All the songs that we've played thus far, minus Started Up is on this project.
Right.
So definitely hit him up, download it, stream it, tell your haters and neighbors about it. His Cash App is at the bottom of the screen as well. You guys see the $ DJ Lawson Found in case if you guys want to tap in and support him any financial way, please do, please do, please do. I think the last song is called What's the Move? I want to say it's kind of like a love song, and it's featuring S.O., Promise, and the homie Aaron Cole.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, yeah, break that down a little bit, and then we'll play the song and end the show.
Yeah, What's the Move, man, was another opportunity that I got with On Beat Music, right? So we had the beat, and then I heard the beat, and I was like, whoa, this is a smash. And then S.O. was on it. And S.O. was actually, he's my favorite artist in CHH of all time. So being able to work with him was dope too. And then, you know, from there, it was just a matter of building out a sound that was mature and sexy, but also not vulgar. I think is probably the best way to put it. So what we got is What's the Move?
You already know, man. So again, Cuzzo, man, thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate you. You know what I mean? I think I learned a lot. I might actually watch this one back because I think you dropped a lot of nuggets. Definitely want to say shout out to you, you know, your family and all that. And may the Lord continue to open these doors, man, because we know that sometimes it looks like some of these doors ain't opening up. But, you know, stay on that path, man, because your music is definitely fire. Like I said, man, it needs to be in the forefront. So I just want to bless you in the name of Jesus and thank God for the doors that he's going to continue to open and the favor he's going to continue to give you. Yeah.
Appreciate
that,
DJ
man. Lawson, you mentioned a little earlier about, you know, media outlets and podcasts and stuff that needs to be, you know, pushed a little more. So for those who may watch this later on who has their own platform, radio show, podcast, do you have a booking email in case if they want to book you to be an interview to be a guest?
Yeah. So you can reach out to me. My email is officialdjlnf, officialdjlnf@gmail.com. You can reach out to me, email. You can DM me on Facebook, you know, James Hardy. I think it has DJ Lawson Found in the middle of that. You can also find me on IG at DJ Lawson Found or DJLawsonFound.com. So reach out to me from any of those places. I'm willing to answer. I don't, you know, block people and all of that. I'm willing to answer. So yeah, I'm definitely willing to do more interviews too. Yeah, 100%.
Gotcha. And can we get Cesar 2 merch at the website DJ Lawson Found as well?
Yeah, we got Cesar 2 merch is officially launched. This is the prototype, right? So it don't look exactly like this, but you can get your own merch. It's officially out there. You know, not only Cesar 2, but even some of my older merch as well.
Gotcha. Definitely want to tap in with the bro, DJLawsonTown.com. Don't forget it.
Yes, sir.
Man. And for y'all watching, man, information is right there at the bottom of the screen. And I can't stress this enough. Take physical keys to open up physical doors. You know what I mean? The gospel is free, but bills need to get paid. You know, gas needs to be in the car so we can drive it and get to where we got to get to. So, you know what I mean? Go reach out, be a support to somebody in the body, you know what I mean? And just, you know, help the kingdom move forward. So with that, we're going to get into this last track right here. It's called What's the Move? And again, I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in with us. Thank you for rocking with us. I forget who the brother was that didn't like to laugh. I apologize. Maybe I'll try to find a better laugh.
Don't worry about Quan. Yeah.
I'll try to find a better laugh for you, bro. I'm going to look for another one.
He's a clown. Respectfully.
Shout out to Quan, man. Shout out to Quan, man. He has his own radio show. He does a lot in Las Vegas. So shout out to him.
He was like, yo, somebody take his roadcaster away. I'm like, how did you know I got a roadcaster?
Yeah, he knows stuff. He knows stuff for sure.
Yeah. Hey, yo, but shout out to him too, man. But yeah, again, man, shout out to the chat. Time is very valuable, and we don't want y'all to think that we overlooked that, you know what I mean? So thank you for just rocking with us. If you shared the live, thank you for sharing the live. If you haven't, please share it, you know what I mean? We trying to tap into these algorithms so the platform can be bigger and the stage can be bigger for the artists in the kingdom. So you already know. And with that, we're going to get into this last joint called What's the Move? Let's go.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
When you see that special somebody, you gotta like see her, be like, yo, what's up?
Let's go. Shout out to DJ Lost and Found.
What's the way, baby? Tell me what you say.
Shout out
I've been
to
working
SO.
all night trying to get you on a date.
And
I've been
last
working
but not
trying to
least,
get you on a
shout out to
date.
Jesus.
I look at your face, baby, what's the move? What's the wave, baby? Tell me what you saying. I've been working all night trying to get you on a date. Now let this young man sing it to you. Say, I've been practicing words on the way to work. Yeah. I just had to pray on my way to church. Look into my eyes, I can see your worth. Yeah. When I come through, I'ma tell you one truth. Had me practicing words on the way to work. Had to say a prayer on my way to church. Look into my eyes, I can see your worth. Yeah. When I come through, I'ma tell you one truth. Tell me what's the move?
Tell me what's the move, girl? I just mean if you try and get this ring, then it's only one thing that I wanna see you do, girl. Love me like the one above me. Holla at a king, let me show you what you worth, girl. You gon' get this ring, I mean you finna scoop first, girl. You get everything that you dreamed of, cause I adore you. And I gotta show you that everything God has got it for you, girl. I wanna be the one who's fighting for you, girl. The only one to you just gotta choose your own adventure. What you try to prove, girl? Tell me what's the move?
What's the move? What's the move? What's the way, baby? Tell me what you saying. I've been working all night trying to get you on a date. I've been working trying to get you on a date. I look into your face, baby. What's the move? What's the way, baby? Tell me what you saying. I've been working all night trying to get you on a date. Now let this young man sing it to you. Say, I've been practicing words on the way to work. I just had to pray on my way to church. Look into my eyes, I can see your worth. When I come through, I'ma tell you one truth. Had me practicing words on the way to work. Had to say a prayer on my way to church. Look into my eyes, I can see your worth. When I come through, I'ma tell you one truth. Tell me what's the move?
Look, practicing words on the way to church, way to work. If you wanna go, then we can make it work. Take the urge, wanna make you smile, wanna make you curve. Please don't move too fast, don't reject me, girl, I ain't a jerk. Baby, if you want, then we can vibe. I've been watching you look stop losing all this time. Shawty, just forget that other guy. Know we got you on the side. You so fine to be a dime. Yeah, practicing lines in my whip. Like, tell me what's your name and tell me what's your zipping. Tell me all your interests. Got you on my wish list. Every day with you gon' feel like it's a Merry Christmas. Yeah, come in my office, we got business. Yeah, throw up a finger, I'm your witness. Yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm in the zone. So tell me what's the more?
I've been practicing words on the way to work. I just had to pray on my way to church. Look into my eyes, I can see your worth. When I come through, I'ma tell you one truth. Had me practicing words on the way to work. Had to say a prayer on my way to church. Look into my eyes, I can see your worth. When I come through, I'ma tell you one truth. Tell me what's the move?
Pardon me if my speech seems tempered with passion, but lately my life ain't been no crystal stair. Instead of graduations and walking across stages and going to basketball games, I'm seeing riots and fires and people who are dying from a lack of air. I would speak, but see, the way this mask on my face is set up, I'm a little distant and frankly, I'm tired. And I really don't understand the argument because some of us have been wearing masks to church long before they were required, but I digress. We smile, but see, depression has a funny way with timing because as soon as I think it's gonna get better, the news only reminds me every 4 minutes exactly how many people are dying. This can't be life. They say things get better with time. How, Sway? Because Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and Breonna Taylor didn't get more time. Instead, time rewarded them with death, the hard way. I want to keep the faith, but I'd be lying if I didn't say sometimes I feel forgotten because never leave me nor forsake me seems to fade when my brothers and sisters are rotten. The pastor spoke about racism on Sunday, but that was weeks ago, and now we're on to the next. While Robert Fuller and Malcolm Harsh were found in sunny Southern California in a tree hanging by their necks, so I need answers. Cause if red and yellow, black and white are all precious in his sight, then why does fear now come in squad cars when police come out at night? If we can launch people into space where no one is, why can't we get ventilators in hospitals just so people can live? I don't see the issue. Cause you're telling me my car can park itself, drive itself, but I can't go to the store and buy tissue. Something ain't adding up. I've been in the house 3 whole months and life will never be the same. I got gloves, I got masks, I got disinfectant. I bought this story, hook, line, and sinker. I've sanitized my hands so much. Alcohol is coming out my pores and I have never been a drinker, so I need answers. So what do? Me? Oh, I turn to the place this record has never been wrong. Written over 2,000 years ago and still correct, still right, still true, song after song. See, this story, like so many before, was already in the bookcases. There will be nation rising up against nation, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. I know you feel like there's no hope, and this world is in a downward spiral. But can I tell you something? At the peak of hopelessness is a perfect time for revival. Because God has never lost, and he is still on the throne, and he will reign forever after statues, after flags, protesters, and Corona are all long gone. There is a hope found in him that this world needs to know. And it's up to us, it is up to you to make sure that his love is known. My brother, my sister, our skin color don't make us divided, because the blood that was shed on Calvary is relentless, and it has hope, joy, and unity inside it. You looking for an answer? Well, let me be frank and very clear. The only answer that will change anything in this world is Jesus, and he is, as he has always been, right here. He is the answer.
KS Radio Show, hosted by Alicio, aka KS. You got a new hot record you can't get on the airways? Well, they take music submissions over here at Alicio Torres 1989 at yahoo.com.
Say what?
Alicio started the KS Radio Show in January 2016, and it is recorded live every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time through www.blogtalkradio.com. Not only is the KS Radio Show the home of the most exclusive music and interviews, you can also give a birthday shout out to your homies.
Happy birthday!
Follow on Instagram and Twitter at KS Radio Show, or contact Alicio directly. His phone number is 513-370-4968. Alicio is down to interview anybody with a testimony, so get with it or get lost, get right or get left. Yeah.
FRIENDS, miss me with them indirect boxes on the internet. I pass, don't never intersect. How you in the click, but you don't know me at all. All your shots get intercepted, so don't throw me the ball.
Good things come with competition. Well, good thing I'm a fighter now.
Yeah, Des, that's good. Little more of that, little more of that.
Great things come with heaven. Well, good thing God changed my life around. 'Cause he's just like fire, fire, burning at your back door. Fire, fire, nothing that you can ignore. Let God's presence fill you up. 'Cause he's just like fire, fire, trying to knock your door down. Fire, fire, nothing that could break his bound. Let God's presence fill you up.
That's good. Let's run it again one more time.